everyone, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are. My name is Professor Kenneth Amechi, and I'm a professor of sustainable business at the University of Edinburgh. I'm also a professor of sustainable finance at the European University Institute, Florence. In addition, I am the Chief Economic Advisor to the Imo State government. So it's my pleasure to welcome you to today's session on entertainment opportunities in Imo State. These are a regular Imo Economic Study Series where we look at different opportunities in the state and how investors as well as other actors can participate in the Imo economy. So it's my pleasure to welcome you today, and we have an interesting set of panelists, and I would like you to be as participative as possible. But before I start, just to mention that we have the radio stations plugged in, and we have also our listeners and viewers on Facebook. So by all means, feel free to join us or send comments, and let's make it as interactive as possible as we normally do. So I want to invite the Honorable Commissioner for Culture, Mazi Uche Ohia, to say an opening speech. I mean, it doesn't need to be long, maybe a minute or two to set the scene, and then I'll invite the panelists to have an interesting conversation. Over to you, Honorable Commissioner.
Thank you very much, Prof. This is a great pleasure and a delight for me to participate in this series. And particularly, I'm thrilled that we're talking about tourism today because Imo State is a tourist delight. And the vision of the governor, His Excellency, our governor, His Excellency Senator Hope Uzodimma, is to make Imo State an irresistible tourism destination. And of course, Imo is already well endowed in terms of location, well endowed in terms of the incalculable tourism assets that we have in Imo State. And the target, the objective, the vision of His Excellency is to harness this talent, because to be honest with you, many of them are unharnessed. And our people have invested heavily in hospitality. Even people who are from outside the state have also joined the race. It's like a race to the gold, because Imo State is like a gold mine as far as tourism is concerned. And so the investment in hospitality is high. Apart from maybe Lagos and Ogun State, part of Ogun State, I do not believe that there's any part of this country that has the number of hotels per square kilometer than what we have in the New Owerri area of Imo State. And that shows a preparation, a serious preparation for tourism development. And our expectation is that in the next few years, Imo State will compare with any tourism center, any tourism hub, because Imo State is the hub already, and we're redeveloping, we're reharnessing, we're rebuilding our structures. And in terms of entertainment, even long before now, it has been a tradition in Imo State that entertainment is part of our daily lives. Every evening, people go out to places to hang out, to enjoy. Back in the days, there was always someone strumming the guitar and singing the high life. And of course, everyone knows that Imo State is the home of bongo music. And it's no wonder that many of the actors and actresses making waves in Nollywood are from Imo State. Unfortunately, when they want to make films, they forget the scintillating locations and sites that we have in Imo State. And only recently are they now beginning to come back to enjoy, to harness, to take advantage of these locations. Of course, you don't blame them, because some of the administrations in the past have not done enough to harness these locations to make it more tourism friendly, more entertainment friendly than it should be, with the result that even the guitar strumming is was gradually fading away until this administration came on. And the first thing we did, of course, was to take stock, to design a roadmap, and to begin to build a baseline data of course, we did a SWOT analysis to determine what we have in terms of our challenges, in terms of our strengths, in terms of the opportunities that are available. And we are coming with a comprehensive plan to ensure that before long, Imo State will be the place to go in terms of entertainment, in terms of filmmaking, and of course, in terms of tourism generally. So I'm pleased with this series, and I congratulate the initiators of this project, particularly you yourself, Prof, for coming up with this series. Now, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner. So let me also invite Bobby Michael, who is the Special Advisor to the Governor on Entertainment, specifically, maybe to speak to this issue of entertainment in Imo State and where he sees it going. Bobby, do you want to come in a minute?
Thank you very, very much. Very good morning to you. I hope I'm audible and clear.
Yes, you are. You are.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I want to say that I am very excited. I am very happy that an opportunity of this magnitude has come before us to talk about the enormous potentials in Imo State entertainment. There is a lot. There is a whole lot. Just like the Honorable Commissioner has spoken there, has already said before now, Imo State has locations that are mind-blowing for people who are in the film industry. Imo State has tourist attractions that people who want to make the very best out of Nollywood or film for Africa. This is the home. Imo State is like the Hollywood frame of Nigeria when it comes to filmmaking. I do not speak because, I am from here. I speak because I know. If you look around Owerri today, Imo State, you look at the capital, you see the kind of houses you see, they haven't seen in film in Nigeria. The kind of roads, very thankful to our, dynamic governor from the infrastructure that's been put together. If you see the kind of roads we have, they don't have it in any of the films that they make today in Nigeria, And then we don't have, like when you speak about film, like in Lagos, we have the Omonile problem. We have all these people who come to you, disturbing you that you have to pay them money to shoot here. If they see you carrying camera, they do that. We don't do that in Imo State. People come here freely. People come here and they film without anybody trying to take advantage of them, trying to take money from them. It's a free place to do whatever you want to do. When it comes to scenery of Africa, sceneries that depict Africa, Uguta is there. Uguta Lake is beautiful. We have things to showcase. I can't begin to explain how excited I am that I believe that the whole of Nigeria, the whole of Africa, the rest of the world, the people who are tuned in here will see for themselves or hear for themselves the kind of opportunities that are here in Imo State. I can tell you for a fact that a lot of big producer friends of mine have been coming to Imo State to film in recent times. They don't make a lot of noise about it. They're not shouting about it, but they've been coming here because they've realized that it is only in Imo State that you will find the most friendliest atmosphere, because it's very difficult to find a very friendly atmosphere for people in the arts and people in the entertainment industry to create their craft. There are certain places you go to and you find, the reality is that the people there are very harsh. The people there are not welcoming. The people there do not want to see you come and do whatever you want to do around there because they see you as disturbing their peace. But Imo State has given an open space for everybody. Come and do what you have to do. For as long as you are a filmmaker, you are a musician, whatever it is you want to do, Imo State is perhaps the freest place to actualize your dream as per entertainment.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you very much for that very good start. And also thank you, Honorable Commissioner. I'm co-moderating this with Dr. Jude Nzako, who is the Director General of the Imo Investment Promotion Authority or Agency. But the point here is that Jude will be coming in from time to time as the investment expert, also to guide and also answer questions that some people might have specifically on how to invest in the Imo economy. So he will come in from time to time as we progress. Well, let me move quickly to Doris and say, Doris, you're a storyteller. You're from Imo State, which is great. So how do you see this industry of entertainment? What is the value chain like? Because because one of the things we try to do on this program is to make it accessible to every person, the person on the street, basically. And see, how can our young people participate? Where are the opportunities? Where are the spaces they can contribute to this? So if you don't mind giving us, first of all, introducing yourself, and then give us an overview of this entertainment industry to enable us engage with it.
Good morning, everyone. Honorable Commissioner, all the honorable dignitaries, good morning. As a daughter of the state, this is such a huge honor for me. I'm so delighted and I'm happy. And I think it's long overdue that this conversation starts. So thank you so much for this initiative. As a storyteller, we're very visual people. We're driven by visuals. We see it in our minds before we pen it down on pages. And I grew up from birth to maybe youth service. That's when I really came out to Lagos. And I know my state is blessed, has beautiful sites, and with what the recent governments have been doing, building structures. Yes, we have the visuals for storytelling. When it comes to a film project, you mentioned the value chain. There's what we call the standards, and that sometimes people do what they can without meeting the standards or surpassing it. But a good standard, I want to talk as one who's trained for international filmmaking, films that can compete globally. I think if we're going to do anything, let's do it well. So I will be giving my views, recommendations, suggestions from that light. No mediocrity, no substandard projects. I mean, people start small, but if a state like Imo State wants to come into this picture, then let's talk big. Let's talk of projects that are for the global market and international people. Because if you're talking about tourism, it's not just Nigerians you want coming to Imo State. You want somebody to get up from America or London and say, I want to go see this state. There's still so much about it in a movie. So that's where I will be coming from. So for our youths there, we are talented, we have talented youth. On Instagram, people are using their talents or are wasting it. So yes, it is time to help them put it into focus. From writing a script to producing it, marketing it, and distributing it, people can find themselves in different capacities of a film project. So just to summarize the value chain, because I know this is not the only time I will be speaking, we start with the scripting. You get into your pre-production, which is to prepare to shoot. And there are different things that happen there. You break down your script, you know all you need to shoot with, you arrive at your budget, you engage the services of your crew members. You have the cinematographer, the costumier, the makeup person, the production designer, director, actors. Then you prepare, you rehearse, you make sure locations are ready. Then you move into the main production shoots. So at every point in time, somebody can fit themselves somewhere. The lady who's making up herself every day to be on YouTube can become a makeup artist on a film movie, on a film set. Somebody who's ready, who's slaying with fashion can become a costumer on a film set. The young people who are acting can become actors, which is where majority of them want to be anyway, to be seen, but there's a lot that happens behind the camera. Now, when you go to set and you have this movie that's been shot, you get into publicity, promoting it, marketing it, getting it into where you want it to be. So like this show, we have like an hour. So it's just like nuggets I can really drop here when it comes to this thing. And for anyone who's new to the filmmaking process, you have the pre-production, production, and post-production, marketing, and distribution. These are the key stages in any film project.
Do you want to repeat that again slowly so people can catch it, right? So, because that's the important bit.
Okay, sorry. You have the pre-production.
And what does that
just
mean?
Just as it implies, you're preparing to go to produce.
Okay.
You have the production that we can call principal photography, which is shooting a film. It's a term we use in cinematography more. Then you have post-production. You've shot these bits of clips, rushes. The editor sits down like the tailor, joins the sleeves, brings it together, you have a movie. Now you need to make noise that you've shot an amazing film, right? Oh, that's the publicity. So you have marketing, branding, and PR under that. So that people can rush to watch it, whether in the cinema or Netflix or Amazon, or rush the DVD. Then you have the distribution when it's available to people, so you can make back your money. So this is like, summary of it.
Fantastic, yeah. But before I let you go, do you want to tell us about your background? Because some people might think, if you want to be in entertainment, you probably would have studied mass communication or theater art, or so. Is that true or false? Can you study anything and then come into entertainment?
Yes, because you can study anything and come, but if you have the chance as a youth, like I coach younger ones, I encourage parents, let them go do the arts. We came at a time where if you don't do engineering, law, medicine, pharmacy, you're considered, if I can use the word as we say it in the marathon, you're not considered serious. So we had to study science because we're brilliant, but that brilliance was really calling for creativity. So I did science, master's level as well, environmental management from University of Lagos. But after that, I told them I'm dropping this certificate. I am pursuing my dreams. So I went on that Amakigwe of blessed memory and started training. So even if you're a medical doctor, there are medical doctors in Nollywood. They kick your money as a medical doctor. OJB is a medical doctor, but they couldn't avoid their passion. So if you have a chance, do the arts. But if you've already studied, it's okay. There are trainings for you to get into the entertainment industry.
And the key point there is passion and interest, right? So irrespective of your
And
background.
talent.
Yeah, and talent, yeah. So you might also, let's assume you study science, you might also end up doing science-related programs, isn't it?
Exactly.
Let me turn to Bobby as somebody who has been in that space. So if a young person in Imo State now wants to go into this, what would you advise that person to do? What kind of practical steps? So people like Doris or yourself, you were lucky, you made it at the time you did. But somebody who is coming out of school today, what are the practical steps you would give the person to follow to be in this space?
I'm so sorry. Could you repeat that? Are you saying a person who wants to go into the industry as an actor or filmmaker?
It could be anything. I mean, she divided the sector into 4 segments. You know, so you have the pre, the during, and post, and the distribution. So if a young person, you know, today walked up to you and said, "Bobby, you've been in this space for a long time. Kindly advise me on what to do." So even if I want to go into pre-production part of it, what are the practical steps I need to take? Who do I contact? I mean, do we have some of these people, you know, where already? So if I'm interested in production, for example, if I'm interested in distribution, are there people, you know, where Enugu, Aba, you know, what are the practical steps you can give the person?
Well, first things first, anybody who wants to go into production, let's say you want to produce a film as a person in the word, first things first, just like I've always said, the industry today is very competitive. First, you have to understand that the script, the story that you have, we'll start with the story. The story that you have is a kind of story that is viable, that is believable, that people would actually see in film and say, oh, yeah, this is interesting. And people would want to take their time out to go see it either in cinema or see it on local TV, Iroko, etc., whatever it is that we want to put it out. So first is the story. I'm going to ask the young person, what is your story? What is your story based on? What genre is it? Is it horror? Is it love? Is it adventure? What is it? Then they tell me, okay, this is what it is. Now look at it, and if it looks like the kind of story that I think, oh yes, can make, will make headway, I'll say, okay, fine. You have to go and get a script writer, and that is where people like the legendary Doris Ariole, my friend, comes in, and I'll advise go and I will advise you the kind of people to go and see, to pen down your story, because in today's industry, the script writer matters, because the script writer can actually go into your head and understand what you're trying to say, and will better way using film to explain or expatiate on what your storyline is about. So sometimes the make or mar of a film happens in the hands of a script writer. If you get the wrong script writer and they write your story wrongly, then that film has started from that point to become a failure.
So Bobby, let's come back a bit, right? So if I have a story today,
yes,
and I come to you, I say, Bobby, I have this story.
Yes.
What would you ask me to do? Who do I contact? And I'm in Owerri, for example, or I'm in Okigwe, or I'm in Olu. So how would you guide me through that process?
Okay, what I will tell you is to immediately, if your story, you know what your story is about, and you believe so much in it, I will tell you to immediately find a screenwriter, somebody who can put that story to life, because a story without a screenwriter is lifeless.
Where will I find this script? How do I go about? I'm trying to be as elementary as possible, right?
Yes.
So because sometimes, for us here, it comes like intuitively, we have the knowledge, we have the network. Yes. Imagine this person, or Kigwe, or wherever, doesn't have the network yet, but he has the idea. So are there websites he can go to find this?
Oh, people? Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So
yes. Locally, if you are in Owerri, you can actually go to the Actors Guild the Actors Guild, you know where, the Imo State chapter. And in the chapter there, they have screenwriters, plenty of them are there. If that is not good enough for you, then you can actually go on the internet, because today we are internet savvy. Everybody is on the internet, go on the internet, and then, just go into screenwriters in Imo State. A few names will pop up, and you can work with anyone that best will help you actualize your dream. But if you were speaking to me, personally, to say, okay, can you please propose to me or tell me someone that can deliver, that can make my dream a reality, that can help my dream get to the Netflixes, the Amazons, and the bigger networks, then I will begin to give you certain names. And that will be my advice to anybody who wants to venture into that in a way, Imo State.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah.
Doris, let me come back to you. Mazi, the commissioner, do you want to say anything?
I think that we seem to be looking at one dimension only. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Oh, thank you, sir. I think that we're looking at the filmmakers dimension. There's another dimension. We are stakeholders, and in Imo State, for example, we're looking to partner. We're looking at strategic partnerships. We're looking to partner with the filmmaker. We're looking to partner with the producer. We're looking to partner with the director to promote certain narratives. There are many stories about our state, about our culture, that are waiting to be told. So the dimension we seem to be looking at is, the filmmaker has his vision, his story, and his narrative, so he comes with it. We have stories to be told, and we're interested in those stories. We have people like Kilwe Machuku, has a big story. We have the Tiger, of course, lightweight world champion from our state. That's a story. We have whether it's fiction or non-fiction, they're still falling. Because
I think honorable commissioner, what Bobby is saying, that if you have this story, it is also our duty as a state to take it to people who can help us tell the story and make things out of it. So the state, in that sense, is also part of the supply chain. And I think that's what he's saying in essence. So if you have this story, so there's an opportunity here for Imo State to go to a scriptwriter, to go to the kind of Bobby and co and tell that story, right?
The opportunity is for the scriptwriter. I'm dropping the hints because of
no, but yeah, it has to be a two-way thing, because sometimes we sit as government, we want people to come to us. No, but we also need to be entrepreneurial and reach out to them. I think that's what they're saying in essence. So, Honorable Commissioner, that's an assignment for you now. You're giving to yourself.
The business of business. They are the people who are in the business of making money, doing business.
Yeah, but here also government can be in business by being entrepreneurial. The entrepreneurial state doesn't necessarily mean that the government is there for profit making. But we are there to create change. We are there to create the kind of narrative we want us to create. Let me invite my co-moderator, Dr. Juden Zako, to chime in.
Thank you, Prof. Just wanted to highlight one area that we seem not to be mentioning. I know we have identified some opportunities, but for the youth or even an investor to be interested, it would be nice if we also highlight some of the bottom line, some of the financials that will be involved in these opportunities. Because for them to be real opportunities, then the youth or anybody will need to know if really that has any financial incentives. For instance, if you want to be a script writer or a screenwriter, what benefit, what financial benefit is attached to that? Unfortunately, we live in in uncertain times, and people demand certainty in these uncertain times. And therefore, whether you want to be a screenwriter or a script writer, or you want, no matter what stage in the chain that you want to be involved in, you're going to demand for certain certainties. And that's something that would be good if our professionals can give some insight how a youth, for instance, can start by making some money. What hope and what promise is he going to get? Is there any guarantee of a successful career, and so on and so forth? So it'd be nice to mention the things about that. Thank you.
Okay, fine. So maybe I'll go to Doris about that. I mean, I think the question Dr. Jude is asking in a sense is there money to be made, and how much is there? Say, for instance, a young person, because we also need to understand the incentives. people go into business because or ventures because of what they also benefit from it. So do you think this is a rewarding space? And if so, how?
Yes, I call entertainment a gold mine. It all depends on where you writers are making money today because people are shooting. However, it varies. But like I said, I will keep my conversations to premium projects. But just so that it doesn't look like there's no small beginning for anyone, as far back as 2006, I say this everywhere. The first time I was paid for a script, I was paid 25,000 naira, 2006, Sisters Love. But today, I've earned more than 10 times of that on certain projects, especially projects for cinema and for Netflix and Amazon. I've been privileged to rise to that level, but it's taken me years to get to that place. So for a young writer who's coming on board, to be honest, money should not be your priority. You need to prove your worth. We need to see you're a good writer first. When your talent and skill is proven, you can call the shots in terms of money. Now, today, certain young writers can rake in about 200,000 a month or more, depending on who they're writing for. Some are writing for the YouTube people who pay them between 40 to 70,000 per script. They can write 2-3 in a month. There are some who are pay them far less than that because I coach them, so I get to have this information as what's happening currently now. You see the high-end writers where we belong to. Most of us are above $1 million for cinema and Netflix projects. So it depends at what level you are. What training have you attended? What do you bring to the table? How good are you as a writer? There are scripts you can't read beyond a page. Nobody will pay you 1,000 naira for that. There are scripts that are so good you can ask for an amount and they will pay. So it's not always safe to just pitch it at this amount. There are different situations and the dynamics at play here. So, but just for the young, passionate, creative who's on this Zoom call, yes, you can earn as much as averagely 50, 200 monthly if you're good and you're starting, and depending on how many people you write from where you're writing for. But on the higher echelon, it's far more rewarding for us.
Okay.
I don't know if I answered that.
Yeah, I think that's a good starting point. So, but what if you're a business, right? Because sometimes we see this as only for actors or people who are participating, but I might also be an investor. I'm not interested in being an actor or whatever, but I have the money. So how much does it cost, for example, to shoot a film? Say maybe something in the range of 10 million, 100 million. I know it can also say, how long is a piece of string? Well, it depends on the opportunities, right? And what you want to do. But if I want to look at it from an investor's perspective, what are the opportunities there and what do you see? So Doris, you go first, then I bring you both.
Yeah. Okay. There's a lot of money for executive producers who are the financiers of movies now. So let me go start with a movie that's aimed for cinema to Netflix or Amazon. Let's start there. We'll still come down lower. For that, right now, my recommendation is the minimum for your main shoot is 25 million.
25 million naira. So if I invest 25 million naira, what is the return on that? What does it look like?
Now, if you've invested it and it has been used properly by your producer, the story is good, your cast is good, the cinemas love it. Remember, there's publicity funds of about 50 million naira. So we're talking of 40 in all if you're going to cinema. You can get offers of $100,000 and upwards to $1.5 million or $2 million from those platforms. It is happening. These are not rumors. There are colleagues of ours walking away with such deals right now. But sometimes those movies need close to 50, 60, the higher. But I'm saying for a minimum of 25, you can get as lucky as 100, 150, $200,000. It is very possible. Sorry, sir, you're on mute.
So you started with $25 million. I'm sorry, naira.
No, 25 million naira.
Yeah. So $200,000, but you ended with 200,000. So I'm trying to kind of do the conversion, the exchange rate. What will it come to?
Well, because they offer you dollars, so it's pretty much easier for me to just quote the figures.
No, it makes sense. I'm just trying to, so if somebody's taking in naira, then you want to look at this 200,000. What would it be like? And if you want to put it in naira equivalent, 200,000. If you use 600 naira, so that would be, how much is that?
Well, if we're talking about bank rate, that's 100 million. But if it's black market, are we allowed to do that?
Okay, fine. Yeah, at least.
But remember, I gave you minimum. Even in revenues, it's still like 100. Sometimes maybe if it's not that top notch, they might just come down to an 80. But that's really like the worst if you know. So if you shoot it well and it's properly executed, yeah.
So what you're saying in essence is that it can be a very rewarding investment because people think of options where they want to invest. Some people go to real estate or properties and so on and so forth. But what you're saying is that there is also money to be made from entertainment. So it might be even a group of friends that have come together, Old Boys Association. They say, well, they can raise 25 million naira and then finance a film and make money from it. So
yes,
that's fine.
I'm sorry, so if you go to Amazon and Netflix, the number of Nigerian movies there will tell you, we don't go where there's nothing. We don't waste time. So those are pointed that something is happening. You understand, sir? So there's money in entertainment. And like I said, most films have 3 to 5, 8 executive producers. So you don't have to say, oh, let me mop up this money. You can bring together 5, 10 friends who can raise it. And yes, 25 is like the minimum. There are big budget movies that will go up 60 million as we're sitting here. But those are the movies that can, we know, Bobby and I, we know colleagues getting offers of above $1 million. These are not rumors, one-on-one. So it's what you invest that matters. Some of those movies cost close to 100 million naira. So that's why I said if Imo State is getting involved in this, then they are better go for it big. That's where it makes sense.
Okay, fine. So Bobby, let me come to you in the practical terms again. So there are people who may have 1 or 2 cameras, right? So there are camera people, camera man or woman. Can they also be part of this value chain? Can they make money using their camera, idle cameras, and be part of the film industry or the movie or entertainment sector?
Yes, they can actually be part of the value chain. But again, it depends on what kind of movie that is. If you're doing a really local movie, like you're doing a local movie, maybe you're doing one of those movies we used to do like in the past where someone can just bring like a regular camera and then, you use that to shoot. They can make some money doing that. But today, the game of entertainment is competitive, highly competitive. In today's world, the camera you use in shooting your movie determines how far your movie will go. There's something called Q&A. Q&A is a situation whereby when you shoot your movie and you take it to a platform, maybe you take it to the cinemas or you take it to the Netflixes or the Amazons to try to get a deal, it will go through their Q&A. And if it fails the Q&A, which means that the quality check, if it fails the quality check of the standard of what they're looking for, then you don't get any deal at all. So if anybody wants to get a camera, yes, please go and get you the very best. They are the Black Magic cameras out there. They're very good. People are using them to shoot today. Go and get the Red Ultra, the Red Magazine, all those big cameras that people even using in Hollywood. They use them here today. Doris and I have had countless projects that we've shot in recent times that we have used the Red Ultra to shoot. That is our basic camera that we used to shoot. So
how much is a camera of that nature? So
oh wow.
No, just to put it in perspective, right? Because here again, we want to break it down.
The Red Ultra, you should be looking about 25 to 30 million thereabout, I think.
Just the camera?
About 25 million naira to about 30 million.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
That is what the Lagos filmmakers, the Mo Abudus, and the rest of them, that is what they are using. The Tade Ogidons, the Blessing Egbes, those people, they have invested seriously in their business. If you go and rent one of those cameras for a day, you'll be paying like 150,000 naira a day.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I think. And I'm speaking from somebody who has retired from Lagos Entertainment for the past 2 years because I work for government now. I'm speaking on the rates of when I was there, and the rates at the time was 150,000 naira for a day. So at this time now, with the interest rates, with the inflation going on, I'm sure it will probably be about 300,000 or more to rent those cameras for a day. So you have to rent them for at least 10 to 12 days of shoots. So if a person can afford those kind of cameras, you are in business, of course. You are a part of the value chain.
Okay, fantastic. Dr. Jude, do you want to say anything? Your hand is up. You want to unmute yourself?
Yeah, sure. Bobby, I like the sound of that one you just introduced, making about 150K a day. That's wonderful. But as you know, this program will also appeal to some new entrants, some young guys that wouldn't have access to such amount of money. In the industry today, do you have any source or any platform where youth or cooperatives or people that come together to invest, where they can actually access some funds? Do you have anywhere in the industry or any arrangement to assist the young ones? That's my first question. Second question, Bobby, is I mean, yes, this 150K a day, it's possible. But assuming as an investor, I'm interested in that, taking that up, and I buy a camera today, how often would I get a customer to rent my camera?
Thank you. Good question, Dr. Jude. First things first, I do not know of any society of any sorts that are in play where people come to raise monies to buy things like cameras or come to do stuff like that. But the thing is, entertainment. You know, I will tell you one thing. The late US President, Ronald Reagan, who was an actor before he became president, said, there is no business on this earth like show business. Now, the first things first that anybody in show business will think about is you have a passion for this. There are people in the industry today who started as floor people. We call them PMs. I know 1, 2, 3, 4 PMs, 5, 6 PMs who today are big directors in Nollywood, who today are big producers in Nollywood. There are so many of them, a lot of stories to tell. Now, these are the people who started from earning 10 kobo. They knew where their passion was. They knew where they were going. In 5, 10 years, these people became top producers. No society made them that. They made for themselves who they wanted to be. Because you see, entertainment allows for passion. You cannot divide yourself in 3 places. Like Doris said, she studied XYZ university, but her passion is entertainment. So she has put in her time, her life's passion into entertainment. Once upon a time, she was earning 25,000. Today, she's earning millions of naira writing scripts. So the table has turned. A person like Doris could wake up tomorrow and go and buy a red Ultra for herself and begin to do another line of business in entertainment. So there are no societies that projects anybody. You have to continue to climb from, start off like everybody else, get to a point and begin to have your own power to help yourself. Now, your second question, you said something, Doc, are you there? Could you please repeat that second question again? What was your second question again?
Yes, I said as a businessman and always, I always like cash. 30 million, one can go find it, buy this camera. Do we have the demand for this camera? Is there any guarantee that I, as an investor, will get customers' demand for this camera on daily basis?
Oh, yes. Can you hear me? Doc, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes. The moment you have your camera, right, all you need to do is to let the guild, if you're in Imo State, you let the guild, the Association of Nigerian Actors Guild of Nigeria, to let them know that, you know what, I have this camera. If you need it, I am the man to talk to. Remember that the camera that you have is a very special one that not a lot of people have. And even if there are 2 or 3 or 4 of you that own that camera in Imo State, trust me, you will all have work. Because these are the kind of cameras that we're looking for here. People travel from Imo State to Lagos to go and hire those cameras and bring them here, which cost a lot more to bring them across all the way to Imo State. But if you are a business person in Imo and you own this camera, trust me, you'll be making money on a daily. In fact, the kind of money you will make, you will reinvest. If you're a smart businessman, you will reinvest into getting another camera and so on and so forth.
So Bobby and Doris, why have you not bought this camera for Imo? And then this opportunity. So that's the challenge for you guys. Doris and Bobby, think about it. We need this camera in Imo State.
Okay.
And Dr. Jude will manage it for you.
Prof, you have a good business model there. So that'll make it.
And just to add to that, equipment rental business is highly capital intensive. Like what Bobby said is just the camera. You have other accessories that goes with it. So sincerely today, somebody who wants to set up a rental business that will rake in that kind of money, you're looking at close to 100 million, let's be honest, because you just don't come and lift a camera and walk away. there's lights, there's sound. So a full rental studio makes more money. There's so many of those guys that every year they are bringing in new equipment. What is paid for it? The rentals. They're not on bank loan or anything. But the initial startup, they will tell you, once you can push through and set it up well, people will always come in every day to shoot. If you have 10 people working with those cameras, most times it's just 2 people that own it. The rest are renting. So there's money in rental business, but if you have to set it up properly.
Okay, fine. Let me go to, Doris, let me stay with you in a minute. So are there training academies, for people who want to come into this space? So because we can't just assume that people have, yes, you may have the passion, but you also need a bit of training and inroad. So maybe you have them in Lagos or Abuja or whatever, but in around the Southeast, and if I want to train in this, can you recommend, or do those academies exist?
They are trained. Sorry, I think I was muted by. Can you hear me? Yes, because one of the things I penned down here for the indigenous, 2 things they need. That training is very important, and infrastructure, because passion is never enough, talent is never enough. We need the skill. Now, there are different levels of training at every point in time. People get some trainings on YouTube, free videos, that's fine. But now, when you want to do credible work, you look at, who and which institution you go to. So if I ever start with myself sitting here, behind me, you can see what they call the Storytellers Creative Agency. I train writers. I've been writing for 22 years now, and professionally for about 16 years. So I train people to write, and I have interns that have written over 10 movies. Iroko's best film last year was written by an intern I trained. So that's it. You have academies all over. Madam Shan George was here the other day, we had this thing. She mentioned there's MMA Song and the Royal Arts Academy. There's Del York. I'm a full-time alumni of Del York. They've always brought in Hollywood facilitators. I've done acting, writing, directing.
Sorry, where are these academies? There must be somewhere in Lagos or Abuja. Do we have those that are close to people in Imo
Some are
State?
online, some are physical. But to arrange whatever facilitators you decide to work with, you bring them down to the state. Because if you're moving the youth down to location, I think that's more expensive. So you engage these persons, whoever you decide to look at their profile, who you stroke. I think this person can teach this person can teach that. You bring them down to the state. And because the world is so virtual now, you don't have to have everything physical. You can do a hybrid program where some people are online, some are physical. Because, for example, when I did cinematography, I was only female in that class. We had to be hands-on, use cameras and all that. So cinematography can't be taught online. You have to be there, learn how to use camera, act in the same thing. Ask Bobby. If you call Bobby now to coach actors, there are things Bobby will teach them online, but there are things he has to be physically present to help them understand about the art and craft of acting. So whatever program you do, there has to be a hybrid, and it's best to bring those facilitators here. It's maybe cheap. I don't use the word cheaper, but it will be made beneficial for the youth, and they need it. Training, very important.
Okay, Bobby, you've mentioned the guild many times. What's the address in Imo State? Where are they located in Owerri?
Well, the guild, they are at the Bongo Center.
Okay.
That's where they are. That's where they have their meetings and everything.
Which street is that in Owerri, the Bongo Center?
That's it's on that warehouse roundabout, by the warehouse roundabout.
Okay.
That's where the Bongo Center is. Yes.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yes.
Going back to this academy thing we are talking about, maybe there is an opportunity there also for you to think of how you can, maybe you're already doing stuff in that space, in terms of training more youths. Do you want to shed light on some of the things you are doing or planning to do?
Oh, well, at the moment, we have, as you know, part of the entertainment, part of what we've been trying to do, in truth, is the vision of His Excellency, the Governor of Imo State, our Governor, Distinguished Senator Hope Odika. We are trying to put together Imo youths who have interest in film, script writing, who have interest in directing. We're going to be putting them together. We're going to have like a workshop, which is, in fact, is in the works. We're going to have a workshop where we're going to bring in great minds, great actors, great script writers, the likes of Doris Arele and the rest of them, cinematographers and all what they're going to come to Imo State to teach our entertainment people here, our creatives, how to do it, how to monetize their talent. Because, you know, it's one thing to be an entertainer, but it's another thing to monetize the talent that you have. Because it's not just enough for you to come out there and say, I'm an actor. But when it's time to pay your bill, you are looking next door. When it's time to pay your child's school fees, you are beginning to wonder where the money is going to come from. But we are coming from the outside. We have done this thing. I mean, I'm an actor. This is like my 28th year as an actor in Nigeria, around Africa, you know, and filmmaker. I've been making films for the past 10 years now. So I have the know-how on how to make these things happen for our youth here and for our entertainers here. So we have workshops that are in the works, which very soon will be happening. We're going to bring in people here to teach our people, teach them how to be better script writers, how to be better actors, how to be better cinematographers, or whatever it is that your drive is. We have that in the offering, and it's going to happen very soon, courtesy of the great government of His Excellency the Senator Hope Uzodimma of Imo State, Nigeria.
Okay, Bobby, thanks for that. Maybe one other thing I want to point in terms of looking for opportunities to help our youth might also be think of the sustainability. So you can bring these people, they come to our spend a week or two, they go away, right? But what about the continuity? So is it possible then to think about working with the higher education institutions in Imo State? Think of Nekede, for example. Doris talked about cinematography and the need for it to be hands-on. So can Imo State University be part of that? What about FUTO? How can we use the academic institutions in Imo State to create this kind of partnership that would help our people on a continuous basis? And who says Imo State cannot become one of the states that will be, or the universities there, that will come up with a module or a course on creative industry? Creative industry or creative business is a big module and program in some European countries and even North America. Why you're talking about making money from your skills, or so there is the business model that is also attached to the creative industry, and I think it's something we should explore with the higher education institutions in Imo State, so that we are thinking about continuity and sustainability. So maybe something we can take offline, but I think I see an opportunity there too to bring in the academic institutions. Doris, do you want to come in quickly? Then I bring in Dr. Jude Nzako.
Yes, sir. I mean, what you just said, I just wanted to say yes. And just like Bobby said, if the government sets that up as a proper curriculum in the university, say filmmaking course now happens in Alabama, that's beautiful. But you just make sure that the right people, like Bobby said, you look at them, what they've done, and be sure that now filmmaking is not just a paperwork. So you put the right people who have the experience, who have done it, and not keep up, and they can really, give these youths, say, a degree in filmmaking. So possible that can even happen. That would be amazing, because a lot of universities abroad, have filmmaking courses apart from the filmmaking schools. That's why they have filmmaking schools, because most schools couldn't do this. But if it started, that would be amazing. Yes.
That's why we are challenging you and Bobby to talk to the people in your industry to say there is an opportunity, even if it's from corporate social responsibility or individual social responsibility, to help Imo State develop this capability. That will be an added advantage. But Dr. Nzako, you want to come in?
Sorry. Yeah, your last question, Prof, was very, very interesting. Let me bring to the notice of the Honorable Commissioner and Bobby that sometime last year, just about a year, the Imo State Investment Promotion Agency made an application to His Excellency, the Governor of Imo State, and requested that he should approve a partnership between the agency and Imo State University for us to open a film academy in Imo State. The governor quickly approved that. And we approached the university. We're working with the then Vice Chancellor. They quickly assigned us a big auditorium at the university for us to start that program. Unfortunately, we have not taken off on that because one of the partners backed out and because of illness. So that opportunity exists there. Bobby and the Honorable Commissioner, I can get you back, meet the Vice Chancellor, and then you can take it up from there. That's a great opportunity, just like the Prof said.
Fantastic. We need to explore that. Yeah.
Finally, on the issue of opportunities, I see that we have not touched much on distribution. I see as an opportunity on the distribution, digital distribution. Today we have a big one like the Iroko. Iroko didn't start too many years ago. They started small, and I feel that there are a lot of young stars today that can start like Iroko. They can start by being resellers to Iroko. They can start by being resellers to Netflix and so many other bodies like that. And all you need to do is to have a proper plan, how you're going to go about it, have a bank account to register your business, ensure that you have a CSC registration. Okay. And of course, you take advice. You never know, we can have another Iroko in Imo State.
Okay, fine. I think that's fantastic, Dr. Jude Nzako. That's a good point also to invite in Shan George, who has done her best to be
I was going to make an input here, just a little input.
Okay, but it's just a split second then.
Yeah, just a split second. In addition to what has already been said, government is also looking towards the finishing school, and the infrastructure is already there. And one of the skills that we certainly will be included in the curriculum is filmmaking, film production, and all aspects of the production process. You know, because our young people who graduate from secondary school or from the universities who are interested in filmmaking can also be trained in an informal environment, because there are two environments, the formal and the informal. And government is minded seriously towards that. And so it takes partnership. We'll still throw the olive branch for anyone who is in the industry who wishes to partner with government to come forward, so we can work out a plan together, work out a proposal together, and in a matter of weeks or months, we can get off the running board. I mean, that's without prejudice to any other formal arrangement with the institution. So I'm talking about a non-formal training program that government is planning for film industry.
Okay, that's fine. The other point also that we didn't mention, we haven't had time to explore, is the issue of intellectual property. So that you may have your lawyer, you know, whether in Imo State, who is thinking about all this. Yes, you need to produce all this, but you also need to protect the property, the intellectual property you have there. So there's also an opportunity there for lawyers, and especially those in Imo State. So we're coming to an end of it. Honorable Commissioner, I don't know if, you have listened so far. Do you have any parting words? So we can begin to wrap up.
Yes, I have parting words. I'd like to throw an invitation to all those in the entertainment industry to come to Imo State. You know, we're developing community tourism to open up locations that were hitherto unknown because they have not been harnessed. And so we are partnering with communities to develop more and more locations. Of course, everyone knows what His Excellency has done in terms of building capacity for infrastructure and also security. In spite of the challenging times, a lot has been done to ensure that there is ample security, at least within the metropolis, and then outside, on the outskirts, we have an infrastructure that is working. And so I would like to throw an invitation to all persons, stakeholders in the entertainment industry to come to Imo State and enjoy. That's it.
Okay. Fantastic, fantastic. So, Doris, do you have a split second to say anything?
Yes, thank you for having me here. And yes, there's really so many opportunities in Imo State, and I really hope and pray that both the government, the private sector, and indigenes can work together, come together, bring all they can to the table so that this dream can happen, because Imo State has it. It has what it takes.
And we need it.
And I'm available as well.
Exactly, we need it as well. Yeah. So, Bobby.
I will be sending a message.
Yes, I want to say that, like I said before, I'm very excited. I'm very happy that this platform has given us the opportunity to discuss Imo State in the light of entertainment, in the vision of His Excellency Distinguished Senator Hope Uzodimma, who wants to see the very best of entertainment in Imo State. Imo State is the Hollywood of Nigeria. The opportunities here are endless. And I want people around the world, people in Nigeria, people in Africa, to please come to Imo State and come and see what we are about. This is the land of hope, and this land is blessed, and entertainment in this land is on another high.
So it's 12:30 now, we'll be caught up. I mean, Dr. Jude, do you want to use maybe 15 seconds? Yeah.
Okay, yeah, just to agree with all that we said, that we have a willing governor in place, a governor ready for business. So investors all over the world come to Imo State. You have the Uguta Wonder Lake, which is a fantastic place, probably the only one in the world. comes
Yes.
with your investment. And let's make Imo the best place for entertainment. Thank you.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you very much. Like I said, the hour quickly runs out. Next week, I mean, not next week, the next edition will be on music. And music is also a big one. So we can also look at the link between music and entertainment. So the conversation continues. And I wish you all a pleasant weekend and see you next time we host here. I will want to thank the radio station for staying with us and also my team, Jovita Agu and Adeza Shaheme for putting this together. And thank you very much, everyone, and have a lovely afternoon. Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye.
you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. God bless. Peace.